Hello, 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 everybody. January 30th, 2018, Planet X News Live. You know, ladies and gentlemen, yes, today is my 50th birthday. And to tell you the truth, I couldn't find a better crowd of people around the world to celebrate this day with. But if you all just give me a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and share our live stream on the rest of Facebook. So all of you just hang in there with me for just one moment. And we'll get right back to this. Yeah, to be honest with you folks, I never thought I'd see the day that I would be celebrating my 50th birthday. Very interesting day today. A lot of things popped up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and share this. Oops, here we go. My allergies are still absolutely killing me. Okay. Well, folks, you know, a lot of things have been going on here today in the Planet X News, Facebook, and also YouTube. Let me just go ahead and pull up this chat real quick. But one thing I want to touch on first, and, you know, it has absolutely nothing to do with the research that we do with Planet X. But, you know, over the course of the last couple of years, you know, my YouTube channel, my Facebook, my life has come under fire, but 99.9% of it comes from these trolling operations that are conducted on Facebook, on Twitter, on the internet, and on YouTube. Now, these, you know, these trolling operations, they are organized. They are an organization of, well, I'll just come right out and say it, an organization of pure scumbags and douchebags. And the main people that they go after are the people who speak the truth. For people who actually are doing research in a field of study. I would have to consider Planet X research a field of study because personally, I've been doing it for, I think this is almost 17 years, maybe even more. But it's only been the last couple of years that a lot of mainstream information has unfolded right before all of your eyes. Sometimes mistakes are made, but the majority of the time the truth comes out. And these trolling operations, you know, some people may want to believe it, some people may not want to believe it, but they are organized by governments. That's just a fact. They will go after anybody that is investigating something that these governments don't want you to have knowledge about. Whether it be vaccines, whether it be big pharmacy, whether it be Planet X, whether it be earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanoes, bad politicians, aliens, UFOs, whatever it is. We all, in the truther community have our own group of these little scumbags that are actually assigned to us. And that's a fact. Now, earlier today, with the help of some good friends over in the UK, who are also very big into the truth community and also Planet X research, with their help today, we took down, terminated, disposed of like garbage, 8 trolling YouTube channels. Took them down all at once today. They thought they were pretty funny by producing, pretty harsh, negative, slanderous videos. The folks, listen, they're never going to stop because this is what they get paid to do. I stumbled onto one of these channels earlier this morning, yesterday. And, it was this channel called Space Weather. And this guy's a complete idiot. And he's been assigned to trolling Ben Davis over at Suspicious Observers, and also very critical of Dutch Sense. And I went into their live chat this afternoon over there at Space Weather. And folks, they're not talking about space weather. These YouTube channels, whenever they have these live streams, the live streams are for the little individual troll babies from different parts of the world. That's where they come together in the live stream and they plot. They literally, right in front of your eyes, they are plotting to try to take down channels, to defame the creator of the YouTube channel or the Facebook organization group, whatever it is. These people are really, really lowlifes. The majority of them are criminals, and I mean criminals. One of them that I have attached to me, the guy was a cocaine trafficker, spent 5 years in a Georgia state prison. I even have his Georgia Department of Corrections photo ID. And yes, I have connections all over the world. And we take these channels down and we get them deleted from YouTube because of the harassment. They violate all of the rules. But, my point is, if you're following a specific YouTube channel or, Facebook group or Facebook organization, make sure you guys stay steadfast and stand behind these people. And, Dutch gave us a pretty big shout out on his live stream at the end this evening, and I appreciate that. And he kind of apologized for not believing in what we research or what we investigate. And there are no apologies needed. Dutch was having a hard time because he's getting trolled heavily. And it's very, very hard to trust people. And, these trolling operations always make a big deal about funding, monetization on YouTube videos, donations, contributions, things of that nature. Well, folks, let's just cut right to the chase. In order to actually do something like what Dr. Albers and I do, like what Dutch does, BP Earthwatch, Mr. MBB333, and many other channels on YouTube, and people on Facebook. If you are going to do something like this full time and you are going to dedicate your entire life into what you believe in, it's not cheap. Now, I'm not out here asking for money, but I'm expressing a point. So these are the tactics that these douchebag trolls, this is what they psychologically try to use on you guys as the followers, the viewers, the supporters, the helpers. We're all in this together. I've said that before. But these are the tactics that they use. So myself and a few other YouTube channels, we get together and we squash these trolling organizations. I've been bashing these people for probably the better part of 2 years. I don't know how many of them I have taken down, but they just pop right back up. They have small organizations, 10 to 20 people, but they also have multiple cloned YouTube channels. And they use fake Facebook accounts, fake email addresses. And, from time to time I post these emails, these threatening emails that I get. I have one idiot that emails me 20 times a day. And, very, very rude, nasty comments. They dig into your life. They try to find out where you live, what kind of car you drive, if you have a past criminal record, if you had a DUI or whatever. And then they try to defame you to all of your supporters. And, I kind of felt bad for Dutch because, he's taken one on the chin. And I know a lot of you watch his YouTube channel. I've been watching him for years. I learned a hell of a lot about earthquakes and earthquake forecasting from that man. He does a fantastic job. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not cheap to have a correct setup where you can make high quality videos, high quality audio, computer programs, the time to do the research. It's not cheap. In my office, I have a small network. I have 4 laptops running, monitoring different things 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, plus my mainframe computer. I have thousands and thousands of dollars invested in all of this equipment, and I didn't buy cheap equipment. In order to run some of these live streaming programs and screen sharing programs, they use a lot of CPUs, so you can't have a cheap computer. And once again, just the time that it takes for you to sit down and do your investigating. It costs money, it takes time, and if people want to donate to you, that's fantastic. If people want to contribute, that's great. If you want to produce t-shirts for awareness or coffee mugs or hoodies, that's fantastic. Whatever it takes to get the truth out there. I appreciate each and every one of you. I also appreciate others in the truth community, such as Dutch Since. I'll be quite honest. I watch his reports every single day, and I know a lot of you also watch these reports. And again, I have learned so much from that man. Hats off to him. And all day today, Well, actually, yesterday, because we're already into today, the 30th. And I thought to myself, okay, it's going to be your 50th birthday, blah, blah, blah. Really not looking forward to even saying, yeah, I'm 50 years old. But I'm 50 years old. I'm in good shape. I have all my hair, all my teeth. I don't have any medical problems. I'm pretty spunky. I got a lot of energy. But all day today, or yesterday, all I could think about was kicking this birthday celebration off and celebrating it first and foremost with all of you. Because each and every one of you, well, all of you are an extension of me and vice versa. As I've said, we're all in this together. I think probably I have a bigger mouth than maybe most of you. I'm very vocal about how I feel, what I believe in, and what I'm doing. And nobody's going to stop me. And they have tried. Listen, these trolling organizations, they have taken photographs of my deceased mother, my deceased grandmother. They've posted, photographs of them, their obituaries. They've contacted people in my family. They've harassed my children. They've done filthy, dirty, rotten things to Dr. Albers. They caused Dr. Albers to basically end her 17-year career as a professor at a university. They have threatened her life. They have threatened my life, blah, blah, blah. And like I've told them, if you really want to do something about it, knock on my door. And I can guarantee you, you knock on my door, you will never see the sunrise again. And if you do, it's going to be through only one eye, because the other eye is going to be swollen and black. But the bottom line is, my point, we have to stick by the people that we follow, the people that we support. And I know each and every one of you, I know that you guys support me, and I know you support Dr. Albers in what we do. And here's the key point, folks. If there wasn't anything to what we're researching, what we're investigating and trying to expose, if there wasn't anything to it, the trolling organizations, they wouldn't have anything to do with us. But they are hired by other scumbags like George Soros. It's recently been outed that, this scumbag, he hires, organizes, and pays for these trolling organizations to wreak havoc. Now, the government themselves, they do it. It's already been exposed. These bozos over there at the NSA and probably the Department of Defense and maybe the FBI or CIA, who the hell knows? They have these young up-and-coming agents. They're thinking that they're going to be running around the world as a top-class spy. But no, they have them sitting in a telemarketing room behind multiple computers using fake accounts to troll YouTube channels and Facebook pages. And they try to get all of you to not believe in what that creator, what that personality is informing you of. It doesn't work. You think by now these idiots would figure that out. They're not as smart as they actually think they are. But most of yesterday, again, all I can think about is the only people that I want to celebrate this birthday with, I want to celebrate it with my people. My YouTube friends, my Facebook friends, my Twitter friends, friends and people from around the world. That means more to me than anything. It also means a lot that all of you support me and you support Dr. Albers with all of your hearts. I truly love it and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But we do have to continue. We do have to continue supporting the truth community, no matter who you follow. And when I say support, I'm not talking financially. I'm talking emotionally. And also with information, because all of you come up with a tremendous amount of information on a daily basis. And that's what this network is all about. That's what the Truth Community Network worldwide is all about. Trying to inform each other and possibly even trying to save one another from whatever may be taking place in the very near future. Some of us may not agree or believe in some of the subject matters, but you know, that's your own personal opinion. And that is something that these organizations like these scumbag troll organizations, that's just something they don't understand. They want to take away your free will to think on your own, to do what you want to do, to listen to what you want to listen to. They want to take that away from you. They'll use whatever psychological measure they have to. Give me a second. Let me get a sip of my coffee. Made myself a nice big cup of Italian espresso. Delicious. You know, I'm pretty thick-skinned, and the trolling operations, you know, they don't bother me. You know, I beat them around every single day, and I play their game because I'm better at it. I smash them, I bash them, and I take them to their knees. You know, other YouTube channels that you know, get this type of the trolling done to them, you know, some of them don't take it too well. But you do have to stand up and fight, because this is part of the fight. This is part of the program. I mean, you didn't just think that the governments were going to allow us to just come right out here and speak freely, did you? They try to stop everything, every minute of every day. But that's okay. Because like I have said before, folks, we outnumber them. We need to regain all of that power. Regain the power that they've taken away from each and every one of us. I'm not going to stand for it. I know a lot of you may not be as vocal as I am, but I've chosen this path, and it's okay. I accept it. I accept the threats. I accept all of the defamatory comments and videos, and you know, the inflammatory emails that I get and the comments that I get. It's all good. They have their own voice also, but it doesn't mean that we have to stand for it. So I took the opportunity today, joined in with friends of mine from over in the UK, and we took it to these trolling organizations today, behind closed doors. We unleashed the wrath of hell upon them, and within a matter of a few short hours, we terminated 8 of their YouTube channels all at once. Took them down. But it's only temporary, folks. They'll be right back up in an hour with a new channel, new Facebook page, new Twitter account. So again, if you guys are following other truther channels, Facebook groups, Facebook organizations, stand behind these people. Continue your support in whatever way you can. These trolling organizations, I knew whenever we started the T-shirt program to help feed the homeless, I knew immediately that they were going to start running their mouths. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Well, the majority of these assholes, they live with their mothers in their basements. And they're in their 30s and their 40s. Little mama's boys. Criminals. Criminal scum. We all know who they are. We have all of their identities. We know everything there is to know about all of them. Maybe someday, somebody will reach out and touch them. What was that one commercial that used to be on TV? Reach out and touch someone. Bad things happen to bad people. God, you could be walking down the street and get struck by lightning. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. But it is truly time to take a stand. Take a hard stand. I know many of you reach out to your friends and your family members and your co-workers, and you try discussing matters like Planet X, earthquakes, volcanoes, all of these things that are happening worldwide, and you get a cold shoulder. People don't want to listen to you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't get discouraged. Because in all actuality, you are doing your part. I truly believe, and I'm not a very religious man, I have my own beliefs, but I truly believe that maybe God has given this awakening to certain people, like all of us. Maybe he's given us this awakening in order to empower all of us to take care of the rest of the world's population that are uninformed, possibly naive, and it is our job to bring them up to speed. It is my job. Dr. Albers is a very, 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 very smart lady. She's living here in the United States. She's already gone through the beginning and middle stages of her immigration process. Spent thousands and thousands of dollars with a top-notch attorney. All of that's going absolutely fantastic. But at any given time, that woman could walk away from this community and, she can go get a top-level job, making a couple $100,000 a year with her background and her education. This lady holds 2 master's degrees and a doctorate and 17 years as a professor of physics at a major university. But Dr. Albers doesn't want to do that. That lady spends 12 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week, researching, writing her articles, making a video for people to watch and learn from. And, you know, the small amount of funding that comes from YouTube for the little ads that they put on your videos, I think last month her YouTube channel made about $250. So that is dedication. That's giving back. You know, I myself also, you know, I could dump all of this today and walk away. I've said that I would do it before, you know, having a bad day, probably taking a tantrum, you know, things getting under my skin, tired of the fight. And then I lay my head down, I go to sleep, and this voice, it awakens me. And it tells me, you can't walk away. You're not permitted to walk away. You now have a responsibility to tens of thousands of people around the world that are supporting you, that are backing you, and that need you. Don't be a coward. Stand up. Wake up. Take your own advice that you give to these people. And that I immediately wake up out of that deep sleep. And I realize I can't hold those thoughts of walking away. It's not within me. It's not my personality. I don't scare very easily to the threats that are delved out on a daily basis. I actually laugh at them. I grew up in the streets of Pittsburgh and the surrounding communities. We're a pretty tough city. We've always been pretty hardcore people in this neck of the woods. My mother and my family did not raise me to be a coward and hang my head low. And I refuse to walk away. I refuse to quit. If anything, ladies and gentlemen, it makes me stronger. And it also makes me appreciate this life. And it makes me appreciate each and every one of you. You know, even though we all don't know each other on a personal level, somewhat. Maybe each and every one of us, we will never actually meet each other in this life. At some point in time, we will meet. We will come together. But as we come together on this planet at this time, we are becoming a force, a very powerful force to many, many people around the world. And that is what counts the most. Like I've said, ladies and gentlemen, there may be people out there, and there are, that don't believe in this subject matter, and that is okay. Because as I've said, God has awoken each and every one of us, given us the job of protecting everyone else. Everyone else that is still uninformed. Each and every day, a few people open their eyes. They open their ears. They open their minds, and they open their hearts. And they step on board with each and every one of us. So we are becoming more and more successful. And that is something that these other organizations do not want to happen. But guess what? That's too bad. It's just too bad. There are so many things going on around the world right now that need our attention, that need to be explained. Not all of us are, scientists. We need a little help. I admire Dr. Albers for her commitment. I admire her for her academic knowledge. I admire her for the strong, intelligent, loving, and caring person that she is. And if you notice, everyone who has a voice in this truther community, no matter what subject matter you follow, the people that are bringing that information to all of you, they have a heart. They're doing this for a reason. It does not revolve around making money. If it did, folks, there would be like, 50 million, 100 million truthers out there, running their mouths and making videos, causing trouble for the government. We just don't have those numbers. There's nothing here for monetary gain. YouTube has never supported my life. And they never will. I battle with YouTube every day. But we will continue. There's no doubt about that. But I really did think the only people that I wanted to, celebrate this big 50-year-old birthday celebration, the only people that I thought about being with was all of you. Took a nap earlier, made sure I was up before midnight, and I wanted to jump on here, and with however many people are joining in, I wanted to kick this off with you guys. In a roundabout way, folks, we've all become this pretty tight-knit family. We need to continue to protect each other. No matter what. When the chips are down, it's people like me that you want on your side. Someone who's not a coward. Someone who will step up to the plate and defend you no matter what. We need to continue to expand our information network worldwide. We need to continue joining together. Because if you think about it, This is something that the governments, New World Order, Illuminati, politicians, trolling factions, the haters, the deniers, that's something that they don't want. But when they see your numbers increasing, they get worried. Your small group now forms an army of people worldwide. That's power. The power is in the numbers. And I'm not talking financial numbers. I'm talking about each and every one of you. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about everybody else in the truther communities. And there are many of us. So, if you guys are following others like Dutch Sense, hey, Richie from Boston, I'm a big fan of his. I love listening to what he has to say. Some people don't agree with everything he says. So what? Everybody has a right to their own opinion. Just like when it comes to researching Planet X. I think we've produced more than enough information and photographic evidence and observations to prove our point. Dr. Albers said to me today, she said, Scott, when do you think our work will be done? My response was, your work will be done when they close the door on your casket and put you 6 feet under. That's the truth. We are facing many, many problems worldwide. Eventually, ladies and gentlemen, it will affect each and every one of us. Yesterday, I worked on a lot of things that were dealing with our climate and this climate change. I spent, probably 14 hours yesterday, I think from 2 a.m. till 4 p.m., talking with a very nice gentleman who is a professor of climatology, University of Ottawa, Canada. Very smart gentleman. He gave me some access to a ton of up-to-date information on what is happening in the North Pole. And he really opened up my eyes to what is occurring. And he also opened up my eyes to what is happening with our weather. And I was pretty stunned. He also gave me some access to a lot of the data that his team of climatologists and scientists have been using for quite some time. And it was a big help. I spent hours and hours and hours and hours reviewing all of the information, and I only got through about maybe a third of it. Some of it is way above my head as far as academics. You would really have to be a leading climatologist to understand a lot of it. I'm a pretty smart guy. I caught on real quick with his direction. I'm going to be sharing a lot of this information in the days and weeks to come. And now that he's given me this access and pointed me in the right direction where to gather some of this information on a daily basis, I'm going to be reporting all of this to you. I'm going to show you how to gain access to this information. And once again, our network becomes larger and smarter. And that's a key word, folks. Smart, intelligence. It's just like that saying I have. Knowledge is power. Smarter you are, the more powerful you become. Intelligence amongst men and women on this planet is a threat. They don't want us to be intelligent. We know they want to keep all of us, as they say, dumbed down. It's not going to happen. They may be able to do it to others, but for all of us who've stepped up to the plate, we've decided to take all of this that is happening around the world. We've taken this upon ourselves. We spend our time learning, researching, investigating, and sharing the information. They want to stop us. Believe me. Maybe I should start sharing more of these emails that I get from these weirdos. I think some of them have become obsessed. But their threats don't scare me. You know, from time to time they do upset Dr. Albers with these death threats. We have one of them that continually sends her emails talking about chopping off her head. Like he's really going to do that. Because if any attempt to harm that lady would ever take place, I'll be there. And I will turn the tables. And it's not going to be a good day for that person. Their awakening will come at that point. Their eyes will be wide open. But we have to stand together, and we do have to support each and every one of us. We have to maintain that support, that emotional support. You know, I'm not saying that we all need this pat on the back, but knowing that each and every one of you are there, you're out there, you're doing your part, you're supporting us, that means a lot. You know, every single day I get tremendous messages, inbox messages and emails and comments thanking me, thanking Dr. Albers. And I always tell everybody, you know, I appreciate that. There's no thanks needed. I know you mean it. But this is what we do. You know, I've made a statement before that I wish, and I have dreams about it all the time, I wish I could fill a stadium with 100,000 people. Like a soccer match over in the UK. Like the Super Bowl here in the United States. I wish I could fill a convention center with all of you. So I could have the opportunity to see all of your faces, shake your hand, give you a hug, talk to you in person. I still dream about it. It could all be a huge possibility. Dr. Albers and I, we were going to do public speaking. We were going to crisscross the United States. And we were going to hold conferences. But the security risks, they're pretty high. And, in order to conduct something like that, that would take a tremendous amount of money, security people, things of that nature. And we've discussed it many, many times. We still may do it. We've been invited to a couple of different radio shows. We have one coming up, I believe, on the 16th of February with a huge internet radio station. I'll post all the information whenever we get close to that date. You guys can all listen in. I've been on a bunch of radio programs, from coast to coast. I don't mean the radio show Coast to Coast. Excuse me. But I'm not the type of person that really does interviews. I've been on the Leak Project a couple of times. I've done interviews here and there. That's really not my style. Dr. Albers was just on with Wayne Steiger not too long ago. We're going to be back on with Wayne, both of us this time. And we're going to be talking about our research. But we're going to be delving into some other subject matters on this Facebook page and my YouTube channel. With this whole flu outbreak, there is so much information pouring out on these damn vaccines. All of these people that are dying, a lot of them are very young children, young adults. It's heartbreaking. We're going to be in contact with some other people in that truth community that divulge this information, that have researched this information. We're going to be digging further into the chemtrail situation, because I'm going to be honest with you folks, the last couple of months, every single time I go outside, if I'm outside 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I'm starting to have, like the breathing issues. My nose gets stuffed up, sinus problems. Dr. Albers has been getting, these headaches, but she works right through it, and so do I. But every single time we go outside, we look up, and there's those assholes up there destroying our skies, destroying the air that we breathe. And there are people out there that say, oh, there's no such thing as chemtrails. Well, those people just, come on, let's be realistic. They need to wake the hell up. I interviewed a man who was a chemtrail pilot. I interviewed this man in 2016, right here in Pittsburgh. I felt bad for the man because he was suffering and dying from cancer. He actually contacted me, I think it was in September 2016, sent me an email. We couldn't talk on the phone because some of the cancer that he had claimed his tongue. They had to remove his tongue, so he couldn't talk. He had all these lesions all over his body. A very rare form of cancer that started in his neck, and eventually, it made its way into his brain, and it took his life on Christmas Eve of 2016. He was a commercial pilot for American Airlines for 20 years. He retired after his 21st year. He wanted to spend more time with his family. But, it's, something about these pilots, man. If you take away their airplane, well, they're at a loss. He wanted to fly again. A longtime friend of his from the military said to him, "Hey, Joe, come out of retirement. Come work for the geoengineering firm that I work for. The pay is great, and you're home every night." So Joe came out of retirement. He took the damn job. But back then he didn't know exactly what he was doing. Joe took photographs later on in this 5-year geoengineering career. Joe was in perfect health. Perfect health. Enjoying his life. He spent 5 years flying these chemtrail planes over the Pittsburgh metropolitan area and the surrounding communities. Joe and his co-pilot, they were told nothing about what was in the body of that airplane. Those airplanes do not have transponders either. They actually leave from smaller airports in the surrounding area. I don't know about now, because it seems like they may be using drone planes. But back when Joe was doing this, he really didn't know what he was doing. And then going into his 5th year, he started having problems with his throat. He started noticing these lesions on his skin. And then he went to the doctors. After numerous tests, the doctor said, you have cancer. The pain that you're having in the side of your neck, there's a large tumor there. It is around your carotid artery. If we don't take care of it, it's going to choke off the blood flow to your brain. So Joe went through it all, man. He stopped working for this geoengineering firm. They just basically dumped him. No medical insurance, nothing. Luckily, the man had a considerable income over the years as a commercial airline pilot. Saved up a lot of money. But in the end, he used a lot of that money to try to save his own life. They cut out his tongue, multiple surgeries, chemotherapy, pain, and agony. When I interviewed him, he had to write everything down, in a notepad, because he couldn't talk anymore because they cut out his tongue. He would lay on the floor with a feeding bag to feed himself several times a day. I witnessed it. I watched it. I actually got upset. I had a lump in my throat because I felt so bad for this man. Because he truly did not know what he was doing. They didn't disclose to him the cancer-causing agents that were in 55-gallon drums in the body of that airplane. Now, these so-called geoengineering companies, they've gotten a hell of a lot more sophisticated. They're using less and less human pilots. We know damn well that FAA regulations do not allow large commercial jets to fly in these formations and fly that close together. We know that. But as I continued my interview with Joe, there were several points in time where, he teared up. He had tears in his eyes. I was watching his wife. She was talking with me also. And we ended the interview, and I publicized that interview on my YouTube channel later on the next day. And I told Joe and his wife, I said, listen, in the time to come, stay in touch. If there's anything I could do for you, you let me know. And Joe took a magic marker and he wrote down on that note tablet, please tell everyone I said I'm sorry. Man, that broke me up. Joe almost had me in tears. I felt bad because that man was duped into doing something that he really didn't have any idea what he was doing, what he was spraying. But man, he took photographs. I exposed those photographs. Ooh, I got myself in a shitload of trouble. But I don't care. Because they're trying to kill us with this crap that they're spraying. A few days after Christmas, 2016, I got a phone call from Joe's wife that, he had passed away on Christmas Eve at Allegheny General Hospital in Pittsburgh. It was quiet. Hopefully he didn't go through, a tremendous amount of pain, but he passed away on Christmas Eve. It was a pretty trying time for his wife. He has 2 sons. I stuck by them. I still have contact with his wife. She's doing okay. But, she has a lot of grief in her heart because of the loss of her best friend, her husband, the father of her children. But, she feels that was all taken away from her for no reason. Remember, Joe was a healthy man with no medical problems, nothing. And then stricken down with these rare forms of cancer in his neck, in his body, and on his skin. Joe let me take photographs of the lesions on his back, on his arms, and his legs. I publicized all of those in that YouTube video with his permission. He wanted everyone to know what they did to him. But first and foremost, he wanted everybody to know that he was sorry. In his own way, they took him to the bank. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know what he was spraying. Geoengineering. That's what they call it. Nice fancy name for destroying our skies. So there will be many other topics and subjects that we will cover. Chemtrailing will be one of them. The vicious nature of vaccines will be another. The threat to this planet will always be my number one subject. We've got big issues. We've got big problems right now with our climate. We've got big problems with these earthquakes. If any of you saw my last couple of posts today on Planet X News on Facebook, I'm watching these earthquakes over on the West Coast very, very closely. And that activity that I mentioned up in the Gulf of Alaska is now moving into the Cascadia fault zone, the Juan de Fuca fault zone, state of Washington, Oregon, California. So, once again, supporting Dutch Sense and the work that he does is very critical. That man deserves our respect. He deserves our support, just like many others in our truther community. We may not all see eye to eye on every single subject, but at day's end, we're all in this together, no matter what. But I did want to just take this opportunity tonight to open up this big 50th birthday celebration with all of you first. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for lending your hearts, your minds, and your friendship. It's been a blessing. It's been a big help. I appreciate it. Dr. Albers feels the same way. We have a tremendous group of people. We're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. You control the living hell out of my YouTube channel. You can call me every name in the book. You can show pictures of me in my underwear. You can show pictures of my deceased mother, my deceased grandmother. You can show pictures of my father, my family. You can do whatever you want. It will not deter what we do. We will not fall prey to that harassment. If anything, we will turn the tables on you. We'll smash you in the head with that table. We will take you down. Ladies and gentlemen, we truly are in the fight for our lives. It may not seem like it every day as a direct threat, but you better believe that there are factions out there that want to extinguish our light. But they don't have the power to do it. We, as a people, we are the power. Our knowledge is that power. Our network of information worldwide is that power. And it pisses them off to see this unity amongst people. Too bad. Too bad. But anyways, folks, again, I just wanted to jump on here for a little while, talk to each and every one of you, kick this Oh, this 50th birthday celebration off. My God. I'm still kind of trying to come to terms with this. Oh, Lord. I'm still a young man at heart. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to go through another 50 years, if I could make it. But I appreciate each and every one of you supporting us. From the bottom of my heart. But I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. I'm going to get a bunch of work done now that I've got this big cup of espresso into my bloodstream. I'm going to get some work done throughout the night. I'm going to see what's happening out there in this beautiful world that God's given us, that we must protect. So once again, folks, thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much. Make sure you stay tuned. Continue to share all of the information that we provide. And keep your information coming in. It is vital. Very vital. But once again, folks, thank you very much. I got a bunch of birthday wishes already pouring in. Thank all of you. Each and every one of you. I thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, take care. And Dr. Albers and I were gonna do a live stream on YouTube yesterday, but for some reason, YouTube just didn't want us on their platform yesterday. So we kept having problems getting on to YouTube through the live stream. But hopefully, later on this evening, we'll get through their tactics and we'll get a live stream going together with Dr. Albers, because she has several reports that she wants to go over with everybody. It pertains to the earthquake situation, things that we should know. And hopefully we won't have any technical issues, and we will bring that live stream straight to you. But anyways, folks, listen, once again, thank you very much. Have a great evening, and I will see you all soon. Take care.